No. But it's not that simple, and we're gonna talk about that. Man, it is cold outside. It's getting really cold here in Sweden. We're gonna make a video today, and it's gonna be the first video with this guy. The Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K is an amazing camera.
Newcomer, hello!
Extremely powerful sensor packed into a small form factor. Anyone can buy this camera and get the free software with it and make amazing content. It opens a lot of doors for a lot of people. Super quick to operate, the interface is super intuitive, you don't have 1,000 menus, you just power up the camera and you're basically good to go. But there's a big but in this story. The Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera is built to be operated in a controlled environment. With the controlled environments, I mean we have control over the space, how and when you're gonna film. It doesn't have any IBIS, it doesn't have any weather seals. It's quite large, especially when you start building up the cage. When the disc is getting full, when you're above halfway, it gets really slow to start up. And it has a pretty short battery life. With the included battery. It doesn't have dynamic autofocus that follows the person you're filming with the focus all the time. So, with that said, in a real world environment, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera could fall short in the following situations. During heavy rain or snow, when you need to film while you're running or when you're inside of a car, and you quickly need to grab your camera out of the bag and get a shot like right away. And you can't do any extensive shooting without having backup batteries. And of course you can work around this while you can put the camera in a plastic bag and you can train your ninja walking and your manual focusing, which you should. And that's a great reason why I think this camera is so good, because it forces you to get great at these things. Because as a DP, you need to be able to manually fix all these things, like stable footage and like get the manual autofocus. Because one day you're gonna get employed by someone who will ask you to operate a red camera or an ARRI camera, and those doesn't have any IBIS or any autofocus.
Focus.
But when a single shot in an uncontrolled environment could be key to making the project successful or not, there might be other cameras other than the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera that could be a better choice when you need to compromise maybe the image quality of this amazing camera. And this is where the Panasonic Lumix S5 comes into the image in my particular point of interest. There are other competitors such as the Sony FX30 or the A7 IV, but for me personally, when I looked at the footage of this camera, it looks too saturated, high contrasty and too sharp. And I think that's my wild guess that maybe these cameras are built for a wider consumer base where all the image that comes out of the camera doesn't need a lot of work in post-production. Now the image quality coming out of this camera is the exact same as its bigger brother that also costs double the price, which is the Lumix S1H, and it has a full frame sensor capable of shooting in 6K, which is pretty amazing. So for what I call uncontrolled scenarios, this camera has industry leading IBIS, weather sealed. It starts up extremely quickly, and it's on, it's so quick. It has face detection autofocus, has dual SD card slots with flexible storage management capabilities, so you can actually choose how the material will be distributed between the cards. It's extremely lightweight and compact. It is also extremely customizable. You can assign pretty much every button on the backside. It has custom modes on the top, which you can assign however you want. It takes some time to get used to the menus and how everything is set up, but once you're set, you don't need to be touching these menus ever again, basically. Extra features that I really like about this camera: when you're recording, it actually gives you a small frame around the screen, which you can just put a glance at the camera and you'll know that you're recording. And it also has night mode, and the night mode basically turns the screen red.
Industrial strength night vision goggles.
And you're wondering, why do you need a red screen? And it's honestly when it's dark outside and you want to keep your night sight, because when you're staring at a bright screen and it's dark outside, you'll be blind when you look away from the screen, and this helps you from that. I really like the color science of the camera. It looks very cinematic. It's like soft image. You have a lot of flexibility in the vlog format, and it handles the highlights very well. You have a lot of space to work in. You can color it like very vividly, and don't make it too crazy because it's already, you know, saturated in how the camera is recording the video. So I think this will be a very good complement for my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K as a B camera. If I make interviews, for example, I can put this on a tripod for a second angle. I think to my eyes, they will complement each other pretty well. So to conclude, this is an amazing camera. It has an amazing sensor, but it doesn't look as juicy as the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera does to me. It's probably more useful in certain situations, such as when you're outside in a documentary type of environment where every scene is really important. You need to run after some person, or you need to turn on the camera really fast, and you don't want to rely on a bulky, and you know, it makes more sense in some scenarios. That's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and that you learned something or got something from this video. I will try to make more educational content like this regarding documentary filmmaking and travel videos, which I usually do. And yeah, bye!